Terracana by Remus Evanhart, Chapter 6, Sparring. POV, Luna. I head to my sister's office quickly. My cheeks feel like they're burning, and my heart is beating faster than normal. In my long life, never felt like this before. I arrive at Tia's office, and I quickly open the door and enter. Tia looks up with a surprised expression. Lulu? Is something the matter? She asked with a concerned tone. We are not sure, sister. We feel strange. There's a feeling in our chest we have never felt before, I tell her. Interesting. Can you describe it? She asks me. Our chest feels like it's tight, like it's hard to breathe. Our heart beats as fast as a hummingbird wing. And our cheeks feel like they're burning, I tell her. Her eyebrows rise slowly, and a smile forms her lips. "Oh, Luna, you're perfectly fine," she tells me sweetly. "How are we fine, sister? We had never felt this way before," I say. "Because, my dear sister, you have a crush." POV, Adrian Stormsword. Shiny and Norma and I arrive at a fence with targets down a range. "So what kind of spells you have?" he asks me. "Well, from what I've been told, they're classed as illegal unless you're a guard," I reply. "So you know combat spells?" he asks as I point my staff at the closest target. "Yes, a lot of combat spells," I say and channel an arcane and lightning element at the tip of my staff. "What's that?" he asks, pointing at the opening orbs. "My kind of magic. I can combine elements to create an effect. These are arcane lightning elements," I reply and cast a spell. A small beam of lightning impacts the target instantly. I hold it for 5 seconds and cancel it. The target is scorched slightly black. Cyan's arms widen with a surprised expression. A wave of whispering amongst the guards can be heard nearby as they start the crowd around us. Shiny shakes his head. "That was rather impressive. What else can you do?" he asks. I then cast a fire beam, water beam, cold beam, and an arcane beam. These are beam spells. I have other types of spells as well, I tell him. "So when you said elements earlier, you meant the actual elements?" he asks. "Yes and no. The elements are just different aspects for a spell. For instance, I reply and channel a sealed and earth element into my staff. I cast the stone armor spell, and the stone from under the ground covers me. It's twice as thick now when I had cast it without my staff." More hush whispers spread through the gather guards. This spell uses a sealed and earth element. The sealed element dictates the spell with a defensive type spell. That the spell will be a defensive type spell. And the earth element gives the spell a physical attribute. I can cast it in 4 ways: on myself, which I just did, in front of me creating a wall of stone, or in an area as a wall around me, or through a weapon, I explain. "Fascinating," he says, making me chuckle. "What's so funny?" he asks. "Sorry, you remind me of Twilight when you just said that," I reply. "Twilight, as in Twilight Sparkle?" he asks, with his right brow raised. "Yes, do you know her?" I ask in reply. "Yeah, she's my little sister," he replies with a chuckle. "How do you know her?" he asks. "I was injured by a manticore when I first arrived here, earlier this morning. I stumbled Pointfield and passed out from the poison. Woke up in a hospital where I knocked a few guards out in self-defense, I tell him with a chuckle. So you're the one I got a report about in Pointfield, he says. Yeah, but I'm not sorry about it. They attacked me and I defended myself. Anyways, Dwight showed up and stopped the first fight, I say. First fight? You mean you tell me you got in another fight with the guard? He asked, unamused. Yeah, when I went with Twilight to at least get my clothes back from the barracks, and then went to a library. She was interested in my kind of magic, so I sold her some, just like I did for you. It seems like someone reported it to the guards. I hear Rainbow Dash's wing after she crashed through the library's window a few minutes later. I took a nap, then the guards came, burst through the door, demanding my arrest for illegal spell casting. After some time reading, I say inside. Then I jumped through the shadow window where I was then surrounded. I froze their legs to the floor where Twilight broke it up again. After that, the princesses arrived and questioned me. Now, here I am, I finished. I see. At least you're here now where we can keep our eye on you. No offense, but with your kind of magic, you could be a threat, he tells me. None taken. I just hope to prove I'm friendly while I'm here. I still don't know what type of spell brought me to this world. I tell him. Wait, world? You from another world? He asks, shocked. That's what Twilight's believe, and I have to agree with her. You know her in my country? As well, I never heard of Equestria before, I reply. So you're stuck here. As far as I know, yes. Sonny pats me on the shoulder. Don't worry about it. You're alive and safe. That's what matters for now, right? Or did you leave some pony behind? He asked. No, I was alone. I was heading to the city to learn more magic when I was sent here, I reply. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay here. And as to you using the facilities, you can use them as much as you want if there's no way to send you back. I suggest joining the guard. You'll make an excellent addition, he tells me, before looking around. What are you staring at? Get back to training, he yells at the other guards, who scramble back to their areas. You also said you wanted to practice your sword ponyship? He asked me. Yeah, I'm a battle mage. I fight with both blade and spell, I reply. Care to have a friendly match with me? He asked, pointing over to a circular ring on the ground. Sure, sounds fun, I reply, and walk over to the weapons rack with wooden swords, spears, maces, and shields. I place my sword and staff down next to the rack and pick up a wooden longsword, but an inch shorter than mine. Shiny also picks the same kind of sword. Here's the rules. First to hit the other 3 times with solid blows wins. Glancing blows don't count. Aiming for the head or below the belt, and no magic. No aiming for the head or below the belt, and no magic. Agreed? He says, and I nod in reply. Okay. En garde, he says, and takes a swing at my left arm. I parry the strike, and thrust at his chest. He sidesteps the thrust, and flicks his wrist, swinging at my extended right arm. I duck and bring my arm down. He swings again. His swing goes over my arm, and I swipe at his left shin. He yelps and hops on the spot with right leg while rubbing his left shin. Some of the other guards watch him chuckle at shining armor. Ow, not bad, not bad. Time to step it up a bit, he says with a chuckle. Wait, were you just playing with me before? He swaps his long sword for a wooden rapier and changes his stance. He holds his sword pointing at me with his right arm, as his left is behind his waist. I frown and hold my sword in front of me. I don't recognize that stance. He quickly thrusts repeatedly, and I parry the best I can. On his sixth thrust, he hits my right thigh. Ah, bugger! I yelled out and started rubbing my leg. He chuckles and gets back to his stance. I can hear more chuckling from the guards. I hold my sword to the right and get ready. I act first this time and swing for his stomach. He steps back, just avoiding the tip of the blade. He then thrusts at my right shoulder, and I lean away, rotate my body around. I swing for his left hip and barely hit him with the tip, a glancing blow. He chuckles. Glancing blows don't count. You need to hit me with a solid blow, he tells me. I get back onto my feet, and we resume. He swipes at my upper left arm, which I block with my sword. I try swinging at his right forearm, but he pulls his arm back in a vertical stance, with his sword pointing up. I thrust at him, and he steps aside with grace and thrusts back. He hits me in the gap of my chest plate, under my left armpit. Gah! I yell. That stings. 2-1, pick up the space, Mr. Storm Sword, he taunts. With a frown with a smirk. He's good. I get ready again and was about to strike when the force calls out, Mr. Storm Sword, the princess has requested your presence for lunch, a guard tells me. I turn to him and Simon thrust his sword right onto my tailbone. Oh, motherfucker! I yell and drop my sword, and I rub the bruised area. A few guards laugh at my misfortune. You shouldn't let yourself get distracted, Simon says to me. I glare at him and chuckle all the same. I place the wooden sword back on the rack and retrieve my weapons. Yeah. I expect a rematch later, I tell him, and as I walk over to the guard. Sir, but it just end up the same way either way, he says with a chuckle. Tony puts his sword back and gives me a handshake, says farewell, and heads into the barracks. The guard leads me to a large dining hall where both Celeste and Luna were sitting, drinking tea and chatting with each other. They then spotted me entering. Hello, Adrian. We were getting worried that you weren't in your room, Celeste says. Sorry about that. I went down to the training grounds for some practice, I tell them. They let thee on the grounds? Luna asks, her cheeks again tainted a darker shade. Well, one of the guards tried to shoo me away, but someone by the name of Shining Armor let me stay, and has granted me permission to use it whenever I want, I reply, and sit down to Celeste's left, across from Luna. Oh? He must have taken a liking to you then. It's rare he lets anybody, not a guard, use the training grounds, Celeste tells me. Huh. Well, he even suggested I join the guard, I tell her as waiters walk in with platters of food. The several trays are covered with fruits, vegetables, eggs, cheeses, and breads. Some bowls of sauce are placed down, and pitchers of water as well. A plate is placed in front of me. Celeste and Luna, another plate, is also placed next to Luna. Who's that plate for? I ask. Before they could answer, the hall doors open up. A guard next to the door starts shouting, announcing His Royal Highness Prince Blueblood. That was Chapter 6 of Terracana.